guys, welcome or welcome back. It's Paula here with Paula's Imperfect Plans, and we're here for another video. Today is Transfer Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I don't know about you guys, but Tuesday is the most day for me, and so much of it is mindset. But there is, for people who don't maybe have the most positive mindset, we know and expect Mondays to be Monday and to be a little bit on the side. And so that is what it is. And then we make it through Monday and Tuesday shows up and I'm like, it's still only Tuesday. We didn't make it very far. So Tuesday for me is just a lovely repeat of Monday in my brain. I'm forever trying to focus a little bit more on positive things, but Tuesdays just are probably my least favorite day for that reason. But anyway, so happy Tuesday. Glad to be here. Happy to be here. As we jump into our transfers for this week, Transfer Tuesday is about us looking at our progress in the last week, any money moves we were able to make, any progress towards our financial goals. This was not a pay week. We get paid later this week, so there's not a lot of money here to work with, but we do have a few things. So I had some digital rollover, so that's money, cash returned to the bank. It's bills that were less than they were anticipated to be, and they're just hanging out on my, in my budget breakdown as money left to allocate. So 2231 is what I have for digital rollover that we're moving this week. And then sinking fund reallocation. So I was really bothered by when I was doing my digital sinking fund binder, I had ones all over the place. And I was like, I need to move money to make these even multiples of 5. So I have $3 that I'm moving from. I think it moved from the kids sinking fund because that was something 3, and I needed $3 to go into another category to make it so that we had multiples of 5. So there was less ones floating around. So 2531 is what we're working with for our transfers today. Let's transition on over to our goal spreadsheet. This is our goal spreadsheet. This is from Debt Free Jessie from her Etsy shop. This is like a 12-week year kind of goals tracker. And so we're in week 11. We're getting very close to finishing this current spreadsheet and moving on. So we'll just jump right in. I mentioned, so the first goal listed here is our emergency fund. We are working to fully fund a 3-month emergency fund, and we are currently on month 2 of that. So coming into this week, we had $327.73 toward month 2 of expenses. This is where I'm putting that $3 that came from a different sinking fund because I wanted this to have, and you'll see here. So that brings us up to $330.73 for the week. And then that means that this month total, we have, not this month total, but in total in our emergency fund, we have $3,330.73. That means that for month 2, we still have $2,589.27 remaining. For the whole goal, we have $5,589.27 remaining. The month 2 is 14% funded, and the 3-month fund as a whole is 38% funded. So now let's come down to debt. That's the only other place that we're doing anything today. And that's where we're going to put that 2231 that was our digital rollover. So coming into this, we had $7,284.96 as a remaining balance on what is now our Citi card. The balance transfers are all final. So they are all on, not all, I have 2 different cards now, but it is all 0% interest debt. So now we're putting that 2231 on that for the week. So that means that we now have paid we now have remaining $7,262.65. So paid in total toward the HELOC was $19,397.33. And we're still at the $1470.01 on the Wells Fargo balance transfer card, which means that total, and this debt, remember, was all one to start with, it is 62% paid off. And now that both have been transferred to somewhere where there's 0 interest, those balance transfer fees have been paid. Moving forward, we should see that progress start, us be able to color the trackers again and start to actually make progress negatively, as in decreasing the balance. So you will notice because about how I had to do these balance transfers, it would be a little bit backwards from how I would want to do it. Typically, I do follow the snowball method. I enjoy paying the smaller ones off first. However, you will see that the Wells Fargo one is less than what we have here on the city. And the reason that I am continuing to work on the city, even though it is larger, is because since I had to do 2 transfers to make this move. So previously I had transferred some to the city and then from the city to the Wells Fargo because I couldn't transfer to the Wells Fargo card directly from my bank, only from a credit card. So all that to say, the city card, the interest will run out sooner. So this is the one that I'm going to pay first because that interest ends March 1st, 2026, and the Wells Fargo one ends August 15th, 2026, I believe. So this one I actually still have the minimum payment scheduled to have it paid off in time, where this one is the one we're throwing everything at because without some like larger chunks of money that will not be paid off by March 1st. So we'll either have to, hopefully, if I'm able to get back to donating plasma, we can put additional money on that. Otherwise, we may have to transfer that later on, transfer that to the Wells Fargo card as well in order to keep it as 0% interest. But that's a reason that we are tackling the larger balance first because the interest, the date that the promotion is over, is sooner. So trying to pay that off before that time comes. So anyway, that is where we are at with our financial goals for this week. Thanks for clicking on this video. Thanks for joining me. I know each and every one of you have a million other things to do. And so I appreciate any time that you spend here with me. Thanks for watching. I would love to hear about what goals you have that you are working on and what progress you made toward them this week. So thanks guys for watching. Bye.